He said it was just a favor, one simple favor, and I believed him. That's where everything started to go wrong. Looking back now, I keep asking myself why I didn't see the signs earlier. Maybe it was the way he spoke, calm and convincing. Or maybe I just wanted to believe that someone could care without wanting something in return. Whatever it was, it led me straight into a mess I never expected, and now, I'm hiding everything from everyone I love. It began on a rainy afternoon, the kind that already makes you feel a little off. I was leaving work, umbrella half broken, clothes soaked, when I bumped into Ryan, an old college friend I hadn't seen in years. We caught up quickly, exchanged a few laughs, and before I knew it, he was walking me to my car like we hadn't missed a day. There was nothing romantic about it. Just comfort. Familiarity. That's what made his request feel so harmless. He asked for a small favor. Nothing serious, he said. I just need someone I trust. And maybe that's where I made my biggest mistake, thinking I could trust him like before. Ryan needed a package dropped off. Said he couldn't do it himself because of some work issues and promised it was completely legal, just a private family matter. I didn't question him. I took the package. But something felt off the moment it was in my hands. It was heavier than I expected. Sealed tightly. And when I asked him what was inside, he smiled that same old Ryan smile and said, "Don't worry. It's nothing dangerous. Just a favor." I should have walked away right then. Over the next few days, things started to shift. My phone started glitching. I noticed a strange car parked outside my apartment more than once. And Ryan, he stopped answering my calls. That calm, confident friend suddenly became a ghost. That's when panic hit me. I opened the package. What I found inside flipped my world upside down. Now I can't tell anyone. Not my parents. Not my best friend. Not even my fiancé. I'm caught in the middle of something I never agreed to be part of, and the worst part is, I don't know how deep Ryan's lies go. Every moment since has been filled with doubt, fear, and one question: was I just a pawn in something bigger? This is a story about betrayal, trust gone wrong, and the fine line between doing someone a favor and being pulled into a trap. I'm sharing this not because I'm proud of what happened, but because someone out there needs to know how quickly life can twist. Especially when you trust the wrong person. Because what I found inside that package changed everything. And it's the reason I've been lying to everyone ever since. You think you know the people around you. You think you're in control. But sometimes, it just takes one favor to lose it all. And what Ryan did next? That's the part one still can't say out loud, not yet. I kept staring at the contents of that package, my heart racing faster with each passing second. It wasn't what Ryan described, not even close. And that's when it hit me, this wasn't some innocent favor between old friends. I had been used. But the question that haunted me was why me? Why now? We hadn't spoken in years. There had to be a reason he picked me, and I was desperate to figure it out before things got worse. I didn't sleep that night. My mind kept replaying our conversation over and over. Every detail, every word. His calm voice, his steady eyes, none of it matched what I was seeing now. I felt sick. But the worst part was knowing that I had no one I could talk to. If I told anyone, I'd have to explain how I got involved in the first place. And that meant admitting I had crossed a line I never meant to. Ryan had always been a smooth talker, even back in college. Everyone liked him. He had a way of making you feel important, like you were the only person in the room. Maybe that's why I believed him. I trusted the version of him I remembered, not the one he had become. As the days passed, the paranoia grew stronger. I started noticing little things, messages disappearing from my phone, locked files showing up on my laptop, people I didn't recognize watching me too closely in public places. I didn't know if I was being followed or if it was just in my head, but I couldn't ignore the feeling anymore. Something big was happening, and I was at the center of it. And still, Ryan hadn't called back. Not once. I thought about going to the police more than once. But every time I got close, I froze. What would I even say? That I delivered a sealed package for an old friend without asking questions? That I opened it later and found something that made me afraid to sleep at night? There was no proof, just a feeling that something wasn't right. And worse, I had no idea what kind of people were really involved. What if they were watching me? What if going to the police only made things worse? My fiancé, Mark, started to notice a change in me. I was quieter, distracted, and always checking over my shoulder. He asked if everything was okay, and I lied again. I hated myself for it. We were planning our future, but I was building secrets on top of secrets. I started thinking about canceling our engagement party, but I didn't want to raise suspicion. The timing couldn't have been worse. I was stuck living a lie while pretending everything was fine. Then came the anonymous email. No sender. No subject. Just one line, "You shouldn't have opened it." My stomach dropped. I stared at the screen, hands shaking. Someone knew. Not just about the favor, but about me opening the package. That's when I realized this wasn't just about Ryan anymore. Someone else was in control now. Someone I couldn't see. I tried reaching out to a mutual friend from college, someone who used to be close to Ryan. But when I mentioned his name, her voice went cold. "You need to stay away from him," she said. "People who get involved with Ryan don't always come out the same." She didn't explain, and I didn't push. But her words confirmed what I already feared: this wasn't over. It was only getting deeper. The days blurred together after that message. I stopped sleeping properly, barely eating, and every shadow outside my window made my heart skip. I kept replaying that one sentence: "You shouldn't have opened it." Someone was watching. Someone was waiting. And I had no idea what they were going to do next. I tried deleting the email, but something told me it was already too late. The damage was done. Then something strange happened. One night, I came home from work and noticed a folded note slipped under my door. No name. No handwriting I recognized. Just 3 words written in red ink: "Check your car." My mouth went dry. For a moment, I stood frozen, afraid of what I'd find. But curiosity, or maybe fear, pushed me outside. I walked to my car, heart pounding, and there it was. The glove compartment was open, and inside was a burner phone. It buzzed in my hand the moment I touched it. A message flashed across the screen. "One last chance to stay quiet. Don't make this worse." I dropped the phone like it was on fire. My world was spinning. This wasn't just about Ryan anymore. Whoever was behind this knew where I lived, where I worked, and now, where I kept my car. The favor I thought was simple had spiraled into a dangerous game, and I didn't even know the rules. That night, I locked all my doors, pulled the blinds tight, and sat on the floor with my back to the wall, clutching my knees. I wanted to disappear. But then, finally, after all this silence, Ryan called. His name lit up my screen like a warning sign. I didn't know if I should answer. My finger hovered over the button, and everything inside me screamed don't. But I tapped it anyway, and heard him whisper, "You need to run. Now." I froze the second I heard his voice. Ryan sounded nothing like the man I remembered. His tone was low, rushed, almost panicked. "You need to run. Now," he said again, louder this time. I asked him what was going on, why people were threatening me, why I had a burner phone in my car. But he just kept saying the same thing: "They're watching you." It wasn't supposed to go this far. I wanted to scream. I wanted answers. But before I could say another word, the line cut off. No goodbye. No explanation. Just dead silence. I called back immediately, but it went straight to voicemail. My hands were shaking as I stood in the middle of my apartment, heart racing. Whatever this was, it was bigger than a bad favor. Bigger than Ryan. And I was right in the middle of it. Then, almost like clockwork, another knock at the door. I didn't move. I didn't breathe. Just stood frozen, staring at the handle. It was past midnight. No one should be visiting. After a long pause, I peeked through the peephole. No one. But when I slowly opened the door, there was another note taped to it. This time, it said, "You were never supposed to look inside." That's when everything snapped into place. What if I wasn't the only one he asked for help? What if someone else did what I did, and didn't stay quiet? I started digging through old social media posts, old messages, and stumbled across a thread on a forgotten college group. One name stood out, Lena. She had been close with Ryan once. I remembered her vaguely, but the more I read, the more unsettled I felt. Her last few posts were paranoid, full of cryptic warnings and accusations that someone was following her. Then she suddenly stopped posting. No explanation. I reached out to the girl who warned me before, the one who said Ryan changes people. I asked her about Lena. The message she sent back chilled me to the bone. Lena tried to go public. She disappeared 2 weeks later. My chest tightened. This wasn't just some shady deal or minor secret. Whatever was in that package, whatever Ryan got himself into, it was dangerous. Real dangerous. And now, I was the next one being watched. The next one being warned. I thought it was just a favor. But it's starting to feel more like a trap. And the walls are closing in. The next morning, I didn't wait around for another warning. I packed a small bag, grabbed the burner phone, and left town without telling anyone, not even Mark. I drove for hours with no destination, just far enough to feel like I could breathe again. But somewhere deep inside, I knew running wouldn't fix this. I needed answers. I needed to find Ryan. I remembered a place we used to go in college, a cabin his uncle owned just outside the city. It was quiet, tucked away in the woods. If he was hiding, that's where he'd be. I took the risk and went. The path was overgrown, the gate rusted, but the cabin light was on. I knocked once. No answer. I knocked again. Then slowly, the door opened, and there he was. Ryan looked like he hadn't slept in days. His eyes were bloodshot, beard grown out, hands shaking. He pulled me inside quickly and locked the door behind me. "They're coming after both of us now," he whispered. I finally demanded the truth. And this time, he didn't hold back. The package I delivered wasn't just a family issue. It was evidence, documents, and a flash drive that could expose a massive fraud ring tied to a powerful investor group he used to work with. He didn't even plan to involve me until the last minute. His original contact backed out. I was just convenient, someone he thought he could trust. I wanted to scream at him, but there was no time. A car pulled up outside. We hid in silence as footsteps approached. But then, instead of a break-in, there was a knock, and a voice I recognized. Mark. My fiancé. He stepped inside, calm and collected. Not confused. Not worried. Just cold. "You weren't supposed to come this far," he said to Ryan. And she wasn't supposed to know. I looked between them, heart pounding. That's when it hit me. Mark wasn't just caught in the middle. He was part of it. He turned to me with a look I'd never seen before. "You should have stayed quiet," he said softly. "Now it's too late." And in that moment, I realized the real betrayal wasn't Ryan. It was the man I was about to marry. 2 of 2. I stood frozen, staring at Mark like I didn't even know him, and honestly, I didn't. The man I had shared my life with, planned a future with, was calmly standing in front of me, revealing that everything we had was part of a carefully crafted lie. Ryan didn't even look surprised. He whispered, "He's been working with them the whole time." My heart sank. All the late-night calls, the excuses, the sudden interest in my schedule, it all made sense now. He hadn't been protecting me. He had been watching me. Mark stepped forward, holding up a small device. "Hand over the flash drive," he said, as if we were strangers. But something in me clicked. Maybe it was shock. Maybe it was strength I didn't know I had. I took a step back, pulled the flash drive from my pocket and looked at Ryan. Without a word, he understood. In one quick motion, he grabbed the burner phone, popped open the back, and slid the drive inside. Before Mark could react, Ryan tossed the phone into the old fireplace and struck a match. Flames lit up the room. Mark lunged, but it was too late. The only copy of the files that tied everything together was gone. He stared at the fire, breathing heavy. For the first time, I saw something crack in him, panic. But I wasn't afraid anymore. I knew that whatever this was, it ended here. In the days that followed, I left everything behind. The engagement. The apartment. Even my job. I moved out of the city, changed my number, and cut all contact. Ryan vanished too, and I didn't try to find him. Some things are better left in the past. I reported what I could anonymously, hoping it would lead somewhere, but I knew the people behind this were powerful. Still, I had done what I could. This story isn't just about betrayal, it's about realizing how easily trust can be used as a weapon. The danger wasn't just in what I delivered. It was in who I believed. When someone says it's just a favor, listen to your gut. Because sometimes, that favor becomes the reason you're forced to hide everything. I learned it the hard way. And I'll never forget it. 52.